What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisor.com, bringing home the bacon. NFL DFS video. We are breaking down the 3-game Saturday slate. Got a great game. Just all three are pretty good. I love a couple of the games. We're going to talk about it. So I'm not going to beat around the bush in this one. We are going to use SaberSim. We're not a sponsor. We don't have a promo code, but this is how we break down the main slate on Sundays. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, because we do have a giveaway every single video. Here's how to win in this video today. Like this video, make sure you're a subscriber to the channel, and leave a comment on the video. If this video gets at least 50 likes, you'll have a chance to win a free week of FTA Plus. 100 likes, a free month. 150 likes, a free year. 200 or more likes on this video, a chance at a lifetime pass. So we have 3 games to look at. We've already broken down the showdown between the Broncos and the Bengals, so we're going to use that knowledge. If you haven't seen that video, make sure you check it. It will be linked at the end of this video. Now, this weekend only, if you have been on the fence about FTA Plus, so FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, FTA Plus is right here. A yearly pass is normally $199, but anyone who emails me to this weekend, actually, so between now and the end of Sunday, and you want it, put in the subject line, I want the year or something like that, we will give you the year for $75, and we will add an extra month. So 13 months for $75 instead of $199 for 12 months. Now, you can PayPal, Venmo, CashApp, that, and we will get you set up on the website. If you don't have an account, we will set you up an account. We'll get you that. If you have an account, you can send payment, and we will get your account set up for 13 months. So this coming Friday, so the 3rd, January 3rd, my wife's company puts us up on a cruise or a vacation every year. It's a cruise this time. I will be without internet or content for 10 days. So in that case, you won't see a video about NFL, NBA, any of that DFS for those 10 days. We'll be back the 13th of January. We will credit every single person that has an active account next Saturday with 10 days when I get back. So do not worry. Maybe you'll be out for 10 days, but we're going to give you 10 days on the back end of that. So that being said, we're going to break down, it's going to be a quicker video. I'm going to try to break down as quickly as I possibly can. We are going to use SaberSim, but we are going to see who the winner of last Saturday, or of last week's video is. So we did the, well, actually, we already did the winner. This was for the Christmas slate. The Christmas slate only got 36 likes instead of 50 likes like we need. So make sure you check that out. So we already had that giveaway on the Christmas slate. I completely forgot because I've been out of the game the past 3 days. I've been absolutely sick in bed. But what we are going to do is we're going to look at SaberSim. We're going to look at what lineups have built for FanDuel, DraftKings, and Yahoo. Not a ton of you play Yahoo, but we will show you that. So using SaberSim, we've got 3 games, but use this free tool as well. So you can find the free tool under the NFL tab, under the matchup tool. It'll bring you to here. These are the defenses. This is how you read this tool. These are the defenses. These are the stats given up to quarterbacks. And these are the fantasy points allowed by position. So in theory, looking at for the quarterback ranking, the best matchup on the slate, according to the matchup tool, would be Bo Nix. And if you look at Bo Nix, he is 6,200, where Joe Burrow is 7,200. So in this order, according to the matchup tool, according to the statistics through the first 16 weeks of the year, it would go Bo Nix. It would go Kyler Murray, who's let us down way more than he hasn't. Drake May, Matt Stafford, Justin Herbert, and then Joe Burrow here. So there's a little bit of difference, and people might be off of it. So that's where we want to take advantage of it. You look at the running backs. You can see Arizona Cardinals are the worst out of all these teams against the running backs. So in order, it would be Kyren Williams, probably be only Kyren there. J.K. Dobbins for the Chargers. Depending on who the Broncos are going to go with Estime, Javonte Williams, Jaleel McLaughlin, there's so many there. It's a little bit murkier. You got the Bengals, so you've got Chase Brown. You've then got James Conner, or whoever's going to be for the Rams. Actually, James Conner's hurt, right? Or is he in? Yeah, James Conner's hurt. So just depending or he's questionable right now. Now, we are waiting on news whether or not he is going to be in or out. Let me pause real quick. Okay, yeah, so Connor's questionable, probably plays, but we'll have to see. Gus Edwards already ruled out for the Chargers. J.K. Dobbins is on the IR, but he is questionable and may return, which he's always injury prone, so it's scared to use, but that's what we've got there. Broncos, like I said, Bengals, it just depends. Chase Brown makes sense. Cardinals, Connor, or is it Michael Carter? Depending on what we've got there, you could look at SaberSim, projected 8.17, and you can see all of the correlation there if that's what you use. And then we get down to the Patriots, Stevenson. Ramondre loves, when we take him, Ramondre loves to give up the ball. They've got Antonio Gibson there as well, so it's always a little bit weary. Chargers, you could look at Vidal as well. We look at the wide receivers. In this instance, the Rams defense is the worst out of all of the teams. So the Cardinals, whether or not it's Marvin Harrison Jr., which you could look at. You look at the Cardinals, you can spread that out there. Harrison Jr., Michael Wilson, Dortch. We don't know what's going to happen, but that's kind of where we're at. Patriots, they are the second best according to the matchup tool, where if you look at the rankings, they're a little bit different. So the Patriots, it's we've got Douglas, we got Boutte. I always think of B-Rad from Malibu, whatever that movie was. I can't remember. Malibu's Most Wanted. Kendrick Bourne, you got Jalen Polk. Probably looking at Douglas and Boutte a little bit more, but Boutte dominated. We used him. We talked about him last time, and he worked out. Chargers, so you're looking at Ladd McConkey. You are looking at Quentin Johnston. Oh, he's pissed us off more than he hasn't, though. That's the problem. Josh Palmer, you're looking at those guys. You've got DJ Shark, but, no. Broncos, you're looking at Cortland Sutton, okay? You're looking at, let's get rid of the Chargers. Devon Vele, you've got Mims Jr., we've got Troy Franklin. We've already talked about these guys in that match or in that breakdown for the showdown, so make sure you check that out. The Rams, it's Puka, then it's Cooper Kupp, we know that, then the Bengals. So technically the Bengals have the worst matchup, which people, if they read this matchup tool, I mean, it's still T. Higgins, it's still Jamar Chase. There's nowhere getting around that. And then tight end wise, the Broncos have the best matchup because the Bengals are the worst against the tight end, but the Broncos have they have 3 different tight ends to choose from, and the cheapest one is Troutman, which I would use. I would look at Troutman. Cardinals, Trey McBride, thought he'd feed him last week, so we took him as a touchdown bet. Did not do that. So he has so many targets, no touchdowns. He's got to get a touchdown before the end of the season. They've already been ruled out for the playoffs. They're done. They're out of it. McBride, I don't see how he doesn't get a touchdown this week. Chargers, so it just depends on the Chargers for the tight end. Will Dissly, questionable. If he is out, then Stone Smart makes sense. Hayden Hurst, I wouldn't go at. So that's where we're at there. Then you've got the Bengals. Then you've got the Rams. Then you have the Patriots. So now the bread and butter, what you guys are here for, let's check it out. So we've already put through some of the guys that we like. We've stacked it up there. We've changed it up a bit. So being that, I'm going to put Bo Nix at the top because I want him to get exposure there. Drake May at 18. I want to bump him up there as well. So we're going to apply this. We're going to look at it. We're going to see the lineups that it makes. So these are the orders. We're going to look at each position. While the lineups populate, we'll look at each position. So Bo Nix has a great matchup. Joe Burrow obviously makes a ton of sense. Denver's defense is pretty good, but it is Joe Burrow. I think a ton of points are going to be scored on that one. It's got a very high over-under there. Running backs, I love Kyron Williams. You got Chase Brown, Stevenson, Javonte Williams, Michael Carter. We're still waiting on a couple, whether or not J.K. Dobbins will be put from the IR. We'll definitely see. Wide receiver, Puka's towards the top. You got T. Higgins, you got Cortland, you got Jamar Chase. Cooper Kupp, for whatever reason, he has let us down more than he has not this year. Just feels like one of those games where he's going to get a touchdown or two and just have a monster game for no reason. But Boutte makes a ton of sense, a cheaper option. Love Marvin Mims Jr. Yoshevich makes a ton of sense there. Tight end wise, Trey McBride, I think he gets at least a touchdown, if not 2. I think they try to feed him in this game. You do have Hunter Henry. You've got Tyler Higbee. The Bengals have different ones. So Drew Sample, Mike Gesicki. What was who's the other one? Tanner Hudson is there. Questionable is Will Dissly. Obviously, if he is in, then Stone Smart makes sense. But if we're building some lineups here, let's take a look at a Bo Nix lineup for DraftKings. So Bo Nix throwing it to Sutton with the Broncos defense could be sneaky because everyone will be on Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. I like that. You've got Kyren Williams in there. You have Chase Brown in there. You got Marvin Harrison in there. You got Trey McBride. You got Hunter Henry. I like this matchup here. So that is a Bo Nix lineup that we could build. Let's see. Is there another one? Yeah. So you have Bo Nix. He's throwing it to Valet and Franklin. Everyone will be on Sutton. This is a more of a tournament pick. You got the Patriots defense against Justin Herbert, which I love. Get to him early and often. You've got you've got Chase Brown and Kyren Williams. You have Jamar Chase in there. You got Hunter Henry, and you have Trey McBride as well. So those are your Bo Nix lineups, or just starting lineups that you could look at. Let's look at Kyler. Let's say he does have a good game because he's got a great matchup here for the Rams, or against the Rams. So Kyler throwing it to McBride and Harrison Jr. You got Chase Brown and Kyren Williams. We're paying down for Franklin. We're paying down for Tyler Higbee. And then we have the Patriots defense as well. Change it up a little bit. We've got Kyler throwing it to Wilson and McBride. So people are on Marvin Harrison. We'll take some value and go Michael Wilson. Chase Brown, Kyren Williams, Demario Douglas, Puka. You got Higbee. You got the Broncos defense. You've got it all there. So I don't mind that matchup there either. Let's do one more. I think everyone's going to be on everybody else. Let's go all the way down to Drake May. Drake May throwing it to Butte and Demario Douglas. Bengals defense against Denver. I don't know if I like that, but again, boomer bust type lineup. They could get a couple interceptions on Bo Nix or fumble recoveries. They pay for themselves at $3,000. You got Kyren and Chase Brown. You got Jamar Chase. You got Gesicki. You got Trey McBride. I don't mind that one. Drake May throwing it to those guys again, and Austin Hooper. We've added that to the mix. So those are just some of the DraftKings lineups. Different ways to go about it. We're still waiting on a couple of news and notes to come out. We do have the showdown breakdown for this Bengals-Denver game, so you can look at that. We've got showdown support there. We've got our Discord, which you can find down below. We've got our Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. Make sure you follow us on all of the other social media. The Discord has been huge, especially with I've been out all week sick since Christmas Eve. I've answered questions there. I've tried to help everybody there I possibly could. Let's move over to FanDuel. Pricing's a little bit different, but it's the same mindset. We're still going with the same players. We like them. That is what we're looking at. So if we look at that and you want to look at lineups, if he is back, he's in a good spot. Now, J.K. Dobbins, we are waiting on news. And depending on when you watch us, maybe he has been ruled out already. That's where you update with the information that we've talked about. But Joe Burrow throwing it to T. Higgins, where everyone's going to be on Jamar Chase, also handing off to Chase Brown. Rams defense against Kyler. We got Kyren Williams in the flex. You got Trey McBride, who I think is going to have a big week. I could be wrong, but that's my thought process. J.K. Dobbins is going to be that cog. We are going to wait to see if J.K. is in there. If he is, I think it's a little bit where I want to look at. I think people will be off of him. They might not even be in the mindset of using him. But let's go at Bo Nix lineup here on FanDuel. Dobbins is there as well. You got Bo Nix throwing it to Cortland Sutton. Makes sense. You got Michael Wilson and Trey McBride for the Cardinals. You got T. Higgins and Chase Brown for the Bengals. You got the Rams defense and the Kyren Williams for the Rams. J.K. Dobbins is your Chargers lineup there. Kind of the same thing. Not a ton has changed with Bo Nix. So I do not mind Bo Nix. Wait a little bit of more news on injuries, but we should be good to go there. Looking at a different way that we have not talked about, let's take a look at Justin Herbert and who they've got him paired with. J.K. Dobbins, Ladd McConkey. You got the Rams defense and Kyren Williams. You got T. Higgins, Trey McBride, Demario Douglas, Chase Brown, and J.K. Dobbins to go with that little mini Chargers stack there. So I don't mind that. I don't know if that's going to be a good spot. Maybe we like the Patriots defense a little bit more than we like Justin Herbert. And then for FanDuel, for Drake May, what we're looking at early projections, Drake May throwing it to Demario Douglas. Rams defense, Kyron Williams, Puka. So overhaul on the Rams there. Ladd McConkey and Dobbins for the Chargers. We also have Trey McBride for the Cardinals, along with Chase Brown for the Bengals. And then finally, we look at Yahoo. Now, not a ton of you play Yahoo. We couldn't do a showdown breakdown for Yahoo because they don't even have the Bengals-Broncos breakdown or showdown for whatever reason. But overall, looking at this, Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison, Trey McBride, Michael Carter, that's with thinking that James Conner is out. That maybe you think that's too much, Cardinals. We'll see. Patriots defense against the Chargers. You got Puka. You got Devon Vele, which I don't mind. Kyron Williams, J.K. Dobbins. I'm okay with that one. Let's look at a Yahoo lineup build with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow throwing it to Jamar Chase. That is it for the Bengals. You've got J.K. Dobbins. You've got Audric Estime. I don't mind him. You got Devon Vele. You got Troy Franklin. So a little bit of a Broncos mini stack there. Rams defense against Kyler. And then Kyron Williams also. You could always throw Joe Burrow with looking at that. You could look at, instead of Jamar Chase, because he is very, very expensive, Yoshevich. You could also look at T. Higgins if T. Higgins is actually going to play. Again, I needed to get this out early because Saturday slate, or during this game, I have Christmas, and I do not know if I'm able to give you guys that information. But I will have my phone with me. If, in fact, we do have questions on the completely free Discord, you can ask there. And then let's look at Matt Stafford. We have not talked about it, but a Matt Stafford lineup with Cooper Kupp and Kyron Williams. I think everyone's going to be on Puka, and this just feels like one of those games where Cooper, we just remember what Kupp, I think it's his walk year, and he's been very disappointing all year. Let's take advantage of that. Let's look at what Cooper Kupp could do. I think he could have a big game in this one. Everyone's going to be focused on Puka. Don't forget, Cooper Kupp is a really good player when healthy all the time. He's just not healthy all the time. You got Stafford throwing it to Cooper Kupp, throwing it to Kyron Williams. You got J.K. Dobbins if he is in there. We are waiting on news. You got Chase Brown. You got Troy Franklin, a very cheap option at wide receiver. You got Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride for the Cardinals. You got the Patriots defense against the Chargers. I don't mind that lineup either. So those are just some of the lineups. You can ask questions in the Discord. That is a small breakdown of Saturday 3-game slate. Hopefully it found you doing well. Make sure you check out all the other NFL content we have. We will be breaking down the main slate for Sunday, just like what we did here. A little bit more in depth with the main slate because there are more than 3 games. We're going to have Sunday Night Football Showdown. We're going to have Monday Night Football Showdown. The final Monday Night Football Showdown before we get into Week 18. And I will not have content for Week 18 for NFL unless I get it out early on Friday. I might have Week 18. Let's go that way. I will have content for Week 18 if you're part of FTA Plus, but I don't think I'll have videos unless I film them very early in the week, which I might be able to do. It just depends. Actually, I might be able to do that because I have Thursday, Friday off. So I might have Week 18, and then we will be back for the following, because I will be out, like I said, 10 days. We will be out from the 3rd until the 13th is when we're back. So we will definitely see. I'll just see what I'm able to do. So hopefully you guys found this video at least a little informative. Good luck with this Saturday slate. Make sure you check out the main slate in the near future. NBA content is out as well. Good luck today. And as always, let's bring home some bacon, guys. Peace.